Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience and giving my full review on Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. So, let's get right into it. So I'm going to be talking about everything I experienced on the ride, so be aware that the ride will be spoiled for you by this video if you haven't ridden it yet. Anyways, I experienced this ride on Thursday, February 18th of 2021 at around 1 p.m. because the ride was closed in the morning, and the park was surprisingly packed. While I was on the ride, there was a light rain, which I didn't mind at all, and I was actually assigned to the front row. Now let's talk facts about the ride. Hagrids Motorbikes is an intimate steel multi-launch coaster with a top speed of 50 miles per hour, a height of 65 feet tall, and a track length of 5,053 feet. One passenger will sit in a bike, and the other will sit in a sidecar throughout the ride. It opened June 13th, 2019, and has 6 launches, not including the boost at the beginning. It also has a vertical rollback and a vertical drop track. There are 12 trains with 7 cars per train. There are 2 people sitting across, making a total of 14 riders per train, and a capacity of 1,700 riders an hour. The park only runs 10 trains, so the capacity is unrealistic, but nonetheless, the coaster is a capacity monster. The ride has a price tag of $300 million, making it the most expensive coaster in the world, beating Expedition Everest at Disney World, also in Orlando, which has a price tag of $100 million. The ride is located in the Harry Potter-themed area in Islands of Adventure on the former plot of Dragon Challenge, a dueling B&M inverted coaster. The coolest thing I found about Hagrid's Motorbikes is that it's run completely by computers. No operator needs to control the ride. There only needs to be a person checking the restraints as the cart moves through the moving station. Then, the computer monitors everything else. That's enough coaster facts. If you really want to hear more coaster facts, check out El Toro Ryan's problematic coaster video about Hagrid's Motorbikes in the description. He goes into much more detail there. Okay, so now that we have coaster facts out of the way, let's talk about the actual coaster. The restraints on the coaster are very comfortable, and thanks to visual checks on the restraints, I didn't get stapled at the start of the ride. The restraint did come down a little bit during the ride, but it didn't affect the ride experience at all. The carts on the ride look very cool. They're very detailed, and from my one ride on the bike side, I found them to be very comfortable. I do really enjoy the idea of the bike and the sidecar, and the bike side feels like I'm actually on a bike, and I'm guessing that is similar with the sidecar. Also, the on-ride sound pretty much makes the ride for me. Hearing the sound of your bike on the ride and hearing Hagrid's voice telling you about everything around you was very cool. The only complaint about the on-ride sound that I have, and I don't know if anyone else had this issue, was in the first scene where you see Hagrid talking to you next to a blast-ended Scroot. I couldn't hear Hagrid at all over the loud bike sounds. For a more family-oriented ride, I felt the launches to be fairly powerful. I mean, they weren't super intense like any big launch coaster you would find at Six Flags or Cedar Fair, but I found them to give off some forces while still being very enjoyable. Also, this ride has a crazy amount of launches. Even if they aren't super intense, that is a lot of launches, and makes for a very long ride experience, especially with 5,000 plus feet of track. Now, as cool as the launches were, I thought the main elements that really shocked me were the drop track and the backwards portion of the ride. I came into the ride knowing pretty much nothing about it, so the 2 elements were a very cool surprise. They hid the elements so well that GP or enthusiast you would never expect them. The track that sent you backwards was hidden behind a hill with a bunch of fog, and the drop track was in a building. The theming on this ride was spectacular. From the queue line to the ride, you are immersed into Hagrid's world, which I believe Universal did well across the entire land of Hogsmeade, and the rockwork and animatronics on the ride were top-notch. Even inside the building where the drop track was well-themed, and I did say how much I loved the on-ride music earlier, but it really did just make the experience that much better. I loved this ride, and not because it was thrilling, as it is a family coaster, but because it was just an amazing experience and a really good ride. I mean, a coaster doesn't have to be thrilling to be a good ride. Now, if I were to rate this coaster on a scale from 1 to 10, I think I would give it a 9. I was debating on giving it an 8, but I just think it was way too well done to give anything less than a 9. Well, that's it for this review of Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Wow, that is a long name. But if you did enjoy, please drop a like. It really does help the channel. And if you want to see more, just hit that subscribe button. Well, that's it, I guess. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.